The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movements start from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.
Been waiting on this all motherfucking weekend.
Listen,
Yeah.
one day they gonna respect me. One day y'all gonna just listen and just take what I say for just cement it.
Face value. It is what it is.
Like I don't know how I do this. I also don't question how I do it. I just do it. I don't know what's my score, young God. I don't know what my score is right now. I'm 10 for 10. Lord have mercy. I'm shooting like Sabonis in his last game. Nigga, perfect game. No turnovers, no nothing. I'm going crazy out here. And I'm going to go crazy today. Because my spirit animal, my almost twin brother, we going to get to it, man. Welcome to the Streets A&R Podcast. It's your host, Giddy Jicky with it.
And it's your girl, CLB.
And we got
Missy
we got a little
mindset.
pistol starter.
Missy mindset. That's what you know me by.
Yes.
Missy mindset. Because I got it.
Messy mindset.
Not
Missy
messy.
mindset.
Don't start.
Missy.
We rebrand in 2025. Okay, we are rebranding.
Rebranding.
Love it.
I'm going to definitely lose one follower.
You are? Oh.
But you gonna gain 100 more.
So listen, the ratio's fine. I'm great.
Okay.
I am great.
You don't lose nobody you don't really need. Okay?
Right. We sure do not. We finna go
Period.
up. We finna go up. But y'all know why we here today, man. We ain't got to BS around. I told y'all been playing with them all year, and I told y'all, and I keep telling y'all want to keep playing, and I keep calling the shit out because I know how to read between the lines. I know how to hear the energy. He's speaking to us. He spoke to me directly. He said, "My nigga, it's coming."
And he said, Mustaaarrrddd.
Loud as hell.
Bruh.
And he came. No pause. All play. He came. All over that motherfucker.
Oh God.
My guy Kendrick.
I did not need that visual, but okay. Go ahead.
My guy Kung Fu Kenny.
He
He did it again. And he ain't done. But we gonna get to
Yeah,
it.
he's in his bag for sure.
Oh,
If y'all don't know what we talking about, for some reason,
I just got the chills.
GNX just dropped from Kendrick Lamar. A fully packed mixtape. And I'm going to say mixtape for a reason. A fully packed mixtape. Was it 11, 12 songs?
Yeah, 12.
Of what y'all been wanting and asking for. And still keeping to himself. But a culmination of all, the first piece of the culmination of all things that's been happening over the last few years. Not just this year. But Kendrick dropped this album. Surprise drop. And, you know, the theory heads and the conspiracy theorists have been all over this shit. And I'll be with them because this nigga's a mastermind that thinks light years ahead of most people and is extremely poignant and precise with what he does and how he does it.
Absolutely. You can't
Nigga-
get to that level without that type of, what's the word? Like, on pointness. What's the word?
I know what you're saying.
Perfection. You know what I mean? Craftiness, intention.
Yeah, intention.
Yeah. He knows the bigger vision. He knows the impact that he makes with his words. And he uses it precisely. For sure.
This shit is crazy. And I don't know if he do it. I think he does everything on purpose. I've seen some. I'm going to jump in theory. We're going to ask opinions. We're going to get all of it. One of the theories, you know, it dropped on 11/22.
I didn't even look at the date.
11/22/24. Some people were. There's a couple theories with that. One was, I'll get to the second one later. The first one I want to say is, do you know what day 11/22 is? But it was from decades ago. November 22nd. And this goes to his thing. He said all along, headshots for the year. Headshots for the year. November 22nd was the day Kennedy was assassinated with a headshot.
Oh. On point. Literally.
Now, you can say maybe it's just coincidence.
Ain't nothing with Kendrick a
Not
coincidence.
Not a damn thing.
No. Not especially with numerology. That's very
And it's crazy because even there's another one we'll get to later that deals with the Squabble Up video. And that had a lot of shit with it. But before we really go crazy into nerddom, Kendrick nerddom, and it's crazy, I actually got hit up from somebody a few weeks ago about asking me how much do I know Kendrick's catalog. I'm like, it's one of my favorite artists. I probably got everything on and off record of Dot. Like, I really got records that you can't find. And he was like, we're thinking about doing a like Kendrick thing, so I need to go revisit this now after this album drops.
Okay.
Like, hey, what's up? I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded because I got that shit that people don't even know. I'm talking about first mixtape shit.
wow.
But I want to know thoughts on the project. Have you heard it? What you like? And then I'm gonna dive like a motherfucker. I'm diving off the deep end.
When we all was in that chat, I was listening to it, and I said, "Okay, this feel like a Negro opera.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, go ahead. You eating with that?
This is an opera story about culture. When I say about the hood, I don't necessarily mean the hood because it's just what is. When we get back to the beef with Drake, cultural appropriation, black or not, let me school your motherfucking ass on how we does this, which takes me back to the Squabble Up video. And the book is in his hand that he had, How to Be Like Kendrick Lamar
like
for
Kendrick.
Dummies.
Ooh.
That the Spanish singer at the beginning was just like, it was so penetrating to the soul because every word, like we talked about earlier about intention, every word that Kendrick rapped on every single song was intentional. It felt like a car ride in the rain down PCH in LA in the GNX. I'm quite convinced that he recorded that project in a car.
Well, he bought a GNX back in March. And understand that the significance of the GNX, do y'all know what that car is?
No.
So not only is that car, the car was made in 1987. Guess when me and Dot was born? 87. This car is known as pretty much the greatest American car ever made. I forgot what it goes 0 to 60 in like four. I think it beat every car in a 0 to 60 race except for one, which was like the Ferrari at the time.
Okay.
It beat everything.
Wow.
It's known. It's rare. I think they were saying there was only 567 of those made.
Wow.
Period. 567 made. Period. And he got one. And I think his father might have had one. But he got one, and he bought it way back then in March.
Yeah.
So he been plotting this for a minute. This is what I'm saying. It's very calculated, but the significance to get something on his birthday. When you talk about the car ride down to PCH, going through LA, and the callback from the beat selection and the samples and the interpolations, and you talk about culture, it was all things that helped create the scene of what LA was.
Period.
And what it was like growing up in an era in LA, and then you get the depiction of it in the Squabble Up video. And it's been like this on this run that he's been on. It's very much about you ain't for the culture. And then the you is not just at Drake.
Right.
It is the direct consumers who are primarily people not of the culture, who don't understand anything about this
Right.
and have commoditized it.
No. And it's crazy not to cut you off, but like, I was reading through the comments after they posted like visuals from the Squabble Up video on several different platforms, right? And there was so many people that was like, man, y'all hyping this shit up. I don't get it.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I was just like,
Crazy.
you're consuming it and you don't fucking get it?
But that's the
why they have
point.
to do
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But to see it in so many comments, I was just like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. But you got a motherfucker like Drake that will mimic this
Yeah, right.
all day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, oh yeah, Drake's about it. All right. Well, it is, you
It's
know.
the culture. These niggas was in the comments saying, I didn't know Kendrick was a blood. And again, this whole good idea of who this nigga is lets me know y'all don't even listen to him.
Period.
Y'all don't listen to him, nor do you understand any of his story. Y'all don't know who Top is. Y'all don't know why him and J-Rock, y'all don't know how crazy the dynamic of Top with J-Rock and Kendrick and to bring in Schoolboy Q and Ab-Soul is.
Period.
Crazy.
Y'all don't understand that dynamic. Y'all don't understand that? Oh, y'all are tripping. Y'all don't understand anything about anything. Just enjoy the music and shut up.
Please.
Because I've always said this, like, y'all don't even know he be talking about y'all.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Yeah, they really have no idea at all, like, who is not like us. It's you, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. it's so many of y'all.
So it was from the production side, he found the crazy part. You were talking about some wild artistry, LA shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes you know. The singer, I think her name was Deborah or something.
Oh,
Deborah
yeah.
or something. She said she found him at the Dodgers game. She sung the national anthem at a Dodgers game. She said a few days later she was in the studio. She had no idea how he was going to use the recording. She just recorded. So that's actually her in studio singing.
Wow.
It's not like from a record. That's her singing. And he found her at a LA Dodgers game.
That's so
and said,
LA.
hey, come to the studio.
That's
and
so
she
LA.
did.
It is
that
so
quick.
LA.
Like
That's
that
so
quick.
LA.
And
You
now
just never
on
know.
This nigga's project.
But that's really authentic too, like to actually go into your own city and find your own talent and do all of those things and put them on this platform. It's like very intentional. Like that's what we all could be doing.
And that was the point of this project.
Yeah.
It was to represent LA in its fullness. There was only one major act on this project,
Yeah.
and that was SZA.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, he only did that so he can have it perform at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Got you.
okay.
Because he could have found some singers from LA, but every single person there, understand there's only one artist I knew outside of SZA that I've even heard of before.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was to showcase, taking shots, but not only am I from this, I'm still of this. To the point where I know these little niggas. To the point where they so dope. Let me show you how to actually put somebody on.
Yes, that, and I hope I'm not steering away when I say this, but from a national perspective of us as a people, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, LA culture, yeah, it was a lot of division amongst like blacks and Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? Latino culture. But there's still some intertwining there, you know what I'm saying? And it's just from a national standpoint, it's like we are more alike
Then we are different.
than we are different. Like,
I agree.
And the quicker we can recognize that and stop letting the others tear us, divide us, we'll figure some shit out.
I think he did a really good job. Like everything you said about putting people on and using his platform for good. Like there's a lot of people, Lil Wayne, that had opportunities to do things. And you know, Kanye is a little radical and things of that nature. But I remember as I aged, like, you know, when Black Lives Matter movements would happen, and I remember like Wayne being like, well, white people have always been nice to me,
right.
And or da 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 da, and it's like, dang, Wayne, you had an opportunity to speak for the people and you didn't. You know what I mean? He's talking about pandering. The word pandering was used a lot in some of his music, and not only do like white people pander to black people, but there's a lot of black and Hispanic people that pander to white people to continue the assimilation of our cultures. That, and as a Hispanic person, I'm Hispanic, but I am Native. I claim that. I'm Texan. I'm from San Antonio. My people go back generational. So when I watched Squabble Up in that little clip of the Cholos, I had to stop. I said, you see that? That's your people. That's your uncle, your cousins. Like, that's what I grew up in. That's the culture I grew up in. So it was really fire to see that. And then my mom is from, you know, the 60s, 70s. There was a part where they had like the black drop with the hearts.
Yes.
Right? And the girls in the pictures. And then the other part of the shot was the women dancing. My mom was dancing and she was like, oh, that's how they used to do it in Soul Train. And then she was dancing, having a good time. And she was like, oh, I'm too big to dance. And then he had the 3 big girls dancing.
Yes, that was
and then
crazy.
My son was like, look, grandma, they doing it too, like this. So we really had a family moment, generational, cross-cultural, something that I have no, like, question if I can show it to my children. I think I shared with you the other day, my son, he heard that Kendrick drop. My son is 11, okay? He heard Kendrick drop. I'm over here taking a shower. He's like, Mom. I'm thinking the house is on fire. I think something burning. I'm like, what is it? He's like, Kendrick just dropped. And so for, like, my children to understand what it is to, like, you know what I mean? Like, even when Not Like Us, I was kind of nervous, like, the A minor thing and all that stuff, like, for my kids to hear that. But the more we listen to it and the history that he broke down in, like, creating a division, I think that's what we lose culturally. And you said beyond just LA, like in all of these spaces. My family is from Chicago, and they always like Chicago has gotten bad, but like Chicago has always gotten bad. When I make that comment to my mother, she's like, no, because back in the day they had rules. They didn't kill mamas, they didn't kill kids, they didn't, they didn't shoot up funerals, things of that nature. So I do feel like Kendrick is bringing back, like, there's a culture, and then there's people who are of the people that are not for the people. Yeah. And there's a way to create those cultural, like, standards. Like, we have to rebuild our cultural standards because people have done so much to disturb us. Yeah. So I think he's doing a really good job. And then you said the opera part of it. Yeah. A lot of people have not been exposed to that kind of art. You know what I mean? Like, I fortunately have because of how I was brought up, but a lot of people don't have those experiences. Yeah. So to put all of those things in a group, in a project, people are having an experience with his music that they may have never had elsewhere. Yeah. Learning 100%. A lot, all that. It's so holistic in so many ways. Yeah. It's so intricate because it makes me think of another great migration too. Ooh. Right? Because most people think LA. Most people think Hollywood and Beverly Hills. When you in LA, you realize LA is a part of Mexico. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just like, whatever. When I went to LA, it reminded me so much of San Antonio. Like, it mirrors San Antonio. Like, the historical buildings, the divisions. I went to some lowrider shows in LA, felt just like home. So absolutely, like, there is this great migration, and when migrations happen, you tend to forget the native people of the city. They get drowned out. There's that gentrification, all of that stuff. So what he does with his work and his visuals is just like, remember? It's like, remember we used to do this? Remember we used to have that? Remember this is who we are? And it keeps those pillars alive in myself and to my children and going forward. So it's a very important. Yeah, not for real, because it was a whole migration from, like, the South to LA with black folks. You know what I'm saying? And then you had that intertwining of Hispanic culture, African American culture. So for me, it's just like, okay, this is what was created from us. When you wake the fuck up, migrate with us over here. You know what I'm saying? So my grandfather actually did that. His first wife was from LA. She was a black woman. They have 7 kids together. Wow. So my aunts and uncles are beautiful. They look like my kids. My mother is from the second marriage, so she's full Hispanic. But my aunts and uncles are, just like you said, they migrated north, met a beautiful black woman, had a whole family with her. So definitely they're still in Compton. Yeah. So I love just the representation and the awareness of that. And I think for me, I do think, like, black people need to have that awareness, but I do think Hispanic people also need to understand that just because they might be first generation doesn't mean that there's only first generation people here in the United States. The Chicano movement has been going on since the 60s. The Zoot Suit riots were in LA. The Black Panther Party worked a lot with the Green Cabarets. So there's a lot of political movement between that has been drowned out because our history is consistently whitewashed. We don't get taught these things. Like, again, I'm fortunate enough. I have people from LA, I have people from Chicago, and I grew up in San Antonio. Now I'm in Omaha, so I have this very interesting, like, perspective of all of these different things. Right. And I hold that very close, and I do do take opportunities like this to share that, because I do think that we are more powerful together as a people, and we can all work together to move the movement into the right direction. Shout out to Nipsey, because he was doing a lot of that work as well down there in Compton, doing his Vector 90. And I just think it's important to keep LA alive, the real LA alive, because it's a movement.
It is.
We supposed to be talking about Kendrick. We talking about culture, but that's what Kendrick did.
But thank you.
And that was the point.
Right.
And that's the point. It's funny because when she talked about the opera, we had conversations earlier this year. And the guy broke it down on video that each of his albums almost represent a different medium. So he was like, Damn was like the magazine. That's why it was just one word, Damn.
Yeah.
And every title was like a boom, big. It was all capital, and it was a media piece. I think Good Kid, Mad City was like a play. And and then when you follow the theme, it plays out like a play. So like we're trying to figure out what's the next what's the next medium. And like you said, this seemed like an opera, like to open your opening scene, you hear some Spanish music, and then there's an opening, and then next thing you just jump to a scene and just get hectic. Right.
But it's me of like The Godfather, like Scarface, something like that.
Yeah.
Real dramatic.
But since we was talking about some of the representation in the video, there's so much there. It's funny you brought up the Soul Train, and what people don't know, I watched the video. I had to get some more additional breakdown. Yeah. But on the board, it spelled the word at the top. It was Latin for, I think, everything is something. So when they was doing the scramble, they dancing, but it literally spelled out in Latin, I think everything is something. Wow. And so he was already telling folks, like, pay attention. The little kid on the little bike was Menace to Society. Right.
Yeah.
Flash the Menace to Society.
The biggest thing to me that stood out was the American flags and the Palestine colors.
That's the Black American flag.
The Black American flag. Yep, the red, white, and is it green, red, white, and green?
Red, black, and green.
Sorry, red, black, and green. But also that does align with Palestine. And if you don't know one thing, it makes you think of something else. Again, that representation doesn't happen. Yeah. On that level.
Then it started hinting at. It was a lot going on in that video. You talked about the Ice-T representation with the girl with the gunshot. We talked about the video backdrop. You saw the Black Panther down there. You saw the Cholos. You saw
hydraulics.
And they said that was a callback to an old picture he had when he was playing with a car with hydraulics. Wow. And that's something people used to do back in the day, had them cars that bounce. And that's LA culture, the hydraulics. And then you saw the guy that looked, which was a call to what's his name? Isaac Hayes with Black Moses.
Yes.
Black Moses. They said Black Moses, and then you saw the Nate Dogg disc as well.
Yeah, that's
both of those were double disc. So they're hinting at there's something else coming. And then you saw the backdrop that said Compton Christmas Parade on the 14th. Yep. So they either get the parade coming, but something's coming.
And Jesus saved gangsters too.
And
Jesus saves gangsters.
And they said that was, there's somebody, people were in the comments telling I know there's a guy that literally has that exact sign.
Yeah, he does. In LA.
And you had the hyphy culture. You had all of it represented. And then one of my favorites was the Jesus picture on the ground with the $40 on it.
I didn't see that.
The funny part is, as a nigga, I have that picture at home.
That's crazy.
That exact with the big the Jesus right here with the locks and all the little Jesus.
Yeah.
I have that. That is the Black staple. And most people don't. If you don't understand code, like everybody, if they just showed that to the grandma, like, well, we got that. I don't know why I got it in my basement right now. I
don't know why. I don't know where I came from, but I got it.
I don't even know where you buy that.
Right.
But every Black house damn near got that picture.
That's fine.
With Black Jesus with the locks. And it had 40 on it. This was a whole nother theory. $40. They was talking about the theory of 40, how important it was. 40 was in the Bible. And then they said even when he dropped, I think it was Euphoria, Not Like Us, it was 40 days apart.
Okay.
Like he was, so people also counting 40, and I think they was trying to count 40 days from now of saying something else is going to drop.
It makes sense.
So it was a lot. It was a lot going on.
I don't think he'll ever be that predictable. I don't think Kendrick will ever, like, he might drop hints, but I don't think he'll ever do something super predictable like that.
He might give us a little nuggets. And then we also know this is not the only album because he put The Heart on there. And The Heart Part 6 was an amazing story with shout out to the SWB sample. but an amazing story of what coming up with TDE and that brotherhood, which made me also think, I don't think there's one album coming.
About a
Nigga Time. Here we go.
double disc.
Nigga Time. Whether a double disc, we're gonna get his album. Kendrick's gonna drop a real album. I actually think he's gonna drop 3.
I was gonna say a trilogy.
I think he's gonna drop 3. Not. I think because what I would do is I gave you the LA album with the little homies. Now I gotta give you my LA album with the big homies.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
I would be remiss to not do it with the big homies, which is why I'm glad Snoop already made his comment and was like, "My bad, bro. I was on the shroom. I was high that day when he said he reposted Drake's AI thing. He's like, my bad. Snoop already tweeted like, my bad. I was high. So retract real quick. But if I'm him, this is Nigga Time. I dropped the one with the big homies.
That's damn.
You have to.
No pun intended.
With what they did. Remember what they did on stage. Remember what they did with Kid and Friends.
Yeah.
There's no way there weren't sessions. I'm telling you.
Right.
They have to be there because he has to drop that second album before his real album. Because of what the Heart Part 6 was, we're getting a Black Hippie album. Understand that whole story was about the team and coming up and how he said I wasn't in the space to create. And almost every time you've seen him now, there's either him with them or a conglomerate of them together.
Right.
Whether it's with Doechie's album, I promise you they are working. We may get it the one and only time. And everybody's dropped. We're only waiting on J-Rock.
Yeah,
he's the last one to drop. And he was supposed to be coming this year, which means he might even come by the end of the year. If he does, I feel there's a Black Hippie album coming.
Oh my God.
And then his third album after that is going to be whatever his album is going to be. Understand that I think he got 3 of them in the tuck and they going all different and they going to smack shit up. It's a wrap for these niggas. It's a wrap for that nigga. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you.
He's a hermit at this point.
That's my Nigga Damas moment. Brought to you by Streets A&R Podcast. Because I'm telling you.
I fucks with that. Not that I've never fucked with your Nigga Damases. But that shit was like literally spot on.
Yeah, super on point. I can see all of that rolling out.
Don't discard it. I'm telling you, hold on to it. We gonna put that out and we gonna see if it happened.
Yeah.
Like every time it happened, I'm like, there go one. I'm a young guy. Get me ready. Clip it. We getting the clips ready. We gonna empty the clip like this. What is this thing? Kendrick, call me, bro. Dave Free. I added you on LinkedIn, bro. Call me, bro. Call me, bro.
For real. But I what I do love is like when the album started, like, you know, there was elements where it's just like, Drake, nigga, I ain't forgot about you. You know what I mean? This ain't about you, but like, I'm not scared of you. Like, I'm gonna keep hitting you.
Yeah.
Where it hurts.
And I think like there's people in every city that's like a Drake, essentially. Like the people who are the culture vultures, the people who do prey on vulnerable people like that want to be in certain cities. So I do think it's important that you don't forget to call those things out and to continue to be like, yeah, we didn't forget about you.
Yeah.
Like, you may not come out of hiding yet. It is not safe. It's
so
not.
With that, it kind of segues me to my next question for y'all. Y'all see that Drake sent a cease and desist.
Hold on, I don't want to get to that yet. I know it's a great segue, but we got to stay on this album real quick.
Okay.
Can we stay on the album?
Okay.
Hold that cease and desist because we got to tear his ass up before we get out of here.
Okay.
Talk about that.
We got to diddy his ass.
Oh.
So.
He gonna come out on them tapes, so.
Listen, one of, and I do actually want to know one of y'all favorite songs on the album, but.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't gotten through it all.
Okay.
And I do not want to speak too soon. That's something that I would have to listen to like 3-4 different times and really take my time with it. So I'm not there yet. But I do like Squabble Up because of visuals. And you know, before I came in, right? I came in and I was super hyped up. So imagine me being super hyped up and I'm listening to Squabble Up. Like, yeah,
no, for real.
Squabble Up. So that's my song right now. I'm going to go
that.
with that.
I would probably say for me, number one, Man at the Garden. I don't know. It just hits me because it's just like when you go through shit, you know, you hit a point where you be like, you know what you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Say that.
But then there's still that humility within you. Like when you humble as fuck, you have to hit a point where you like, me being humble is setting me back. Like I for real deserve everything that I have and what's coming to me. So that's number one for me. Reincarnated is number two. Just for him to be able to run that sample from Tupac back and still capture that element of Pac, sound like him, but not try to be him lyrically, and then you're telling stories. That's number two.
Crazy.
Number three would probably be Dodger Blue. And then number four, Luther.
Ooh, so if you haven't heard it, you gotta go listen to them.
Yeah. So listen, I'm with you, because Man in the Garden hits home. Let me say this before because I got some crazy shit that I stumbled upon. One thing about this record is it's so crazy. The point is to be in retrospect, to take everything back and forth in time from when he was born to back. The record is a callback even as far as 2015, 2017 to even his last record, Duckworth, which was a recall of his life. Everything in this record was a callback. Even the last verse or the last two verses in the first song, he told you what the album was. He mentioned every title or main topic of every song in the first song. If you just go listen to it, you're like, wait, he told it to prep you. It's like a time travel. Every song was a time travel back and forth of then and now. This is what it was. This is how it came up. Very reminiscent of Damn, which the sequence of Damn and the titles of Damn were all the elements that make a person a person.
Oh, wow.
Go read the title.
Okay. I need
to even to where you talking about Man in the Garden is the complete, from a title standpoint and energy standpoint of, it's like a double down, but a calmness in it from Humble.
Shit!
So it's very intentional.
I love this album so
this shit
much.
is so intentional. It's crazy. And one of the songs that I had to just was baffling me was Reincarnated. Because I had to figure the fuck who he was talking
Break it down for me, please.
And I'm going to connect some dots for y'all niggas. Because I had to just, I don't know who he's talking about when he's talking about the person from Michigan, the guitarist. I don't know when he was talking, who he's talking about. Who do you think it is?
Fuck, I looked it up. Damn.
I got the names. We finna go
I forgot the guy's name.
But I had to figure that one out, and I had to figure out the woman he was talking about.
Yeah.
So I just typed the question in. Shout out to Reddit, because Reddit be on point.
Yeah,
they be wild.
They do.
So Reddit gave me a name. Reddit gave me a name. Let me find a paragraph where are you at? I gotta find my good paragraph. The name that came up that they suggested that person was John Lee Hooker.
Yes.
John Lee Hooker was a blues singer and guitarist out of Michigan. Born, I think, in Mississippi, but grew up in Michigan. Had some hit songs. And I gotta find this one paragraph. John Lee Hooker was a very interesting person. They the way he sung and played the guitar was like nobody else. But John, to avoid some of the things in the industry, had a lot of different nicknames. And this is where this shit ties in. He went over just to kind of avoid some of the fees and shit. He would create a new name, but he went by John Lee Cooker, Texas Slim, Delta John, Birmingham Sam, Magic Guitar, Johnny Williams.
Yeah.
And guess what the last nickname he went by?
What?
Boogie Man. Kendrick for the last. This nigga is crazy.
He studies.
So in Reincarnated,
He studies.
he's been calling himself the rap. That's why he says the rap industry's boogeyman. because there was already a Boogeyman. Boogeyman also made one of his singles was called Boogie Chillin'. But he's referencing himself, and he's been doing this for years as another version of this individual.
Right.
Fire.
That's why he's the first person he says, I'm reincarnated.
Right.
Second was about a woman. The woman that they said this was
Was it
Dina
Dina?
Washington. Dina Washington was a wild lady. She was an amazing singer. She's known as like, I think she self-dubbed herself as like the queen of blues or something like that. Dina Washington lived a life. She rumored to have between 7 to 9 different husbands by the age of 39 when she died of an overdose.
I need to get like her.
Okay,
7
we
to 9
slacking,
died,
girl.
bro.
Now,
You know?
check out her artwork. She was a singer. One of her top songs. Do I still got this pulled up? Oh man, it's gonna mess me up. One of her top songs was called "TV Is the Thing This Year." TV Off
TV
is one of his
Off.
hardest songs on the record.
Yeah, why wasn't
Under-
that a part of my list?
It don't matter because you wanted to be introspective. But TV Off, so he referenced her. But Dina is known, and if you listen to "TV Is the Thing This Year," she was very promiscuous. This calls back to Kendrick talking in Mr. Morale about one of his issues he had to get over was having a sex addiction. Number 2, Dina was a master at double entendres. This whole song is about a dude. And she's talking about turning my knob to channel 1. Da-da-da-da-da. It's all about sex with her. And it's nothing but double entendres the entire song.
Right.
Kendrick is known for double entendres. So when he talks about reincarnated from these people, and the third person he's actually reincarnated from is the person he interpolated and it sounds like, which is Pac.
Right.
On top of that, the last one, when he talks about, the last one is, of course, Lucifer.
Right.
And reimagining his story to say, hey, you were the minister of music. Your pride got in the way. Go back to damn. All this got in the way. Now it's basically trying to reclaim your glory and do what I told you to do in the first place. So he's
Right.
taking a step back as the person that is the minister of music, the minister of hip hop right now. He's the person that pushes the culture in rap and hip hop. He's taking his place back into the heavens to do what he's supposed to be doing, which is why he's doing all this shit in the first place.
No, for real. And once it got to the breakdown where he was having that conversation with God as Lucifer, now I'm about to get real deep. It takes me back to a dream that I had. Matter of fact, it was 3 dreams that I had when I lived in LA, when I was working in the industry. Never knew what they meant, but when I listened to Reincarnated, the first dream I had was like walking up to the door of this club or whatever. But the club was, I knew what was behind the door, and it had something to do with music, right? When I get to the door, the security guard looks at me. He gives me this like, almost like promiscuous type stare. And he goes, "You're good." And there's this lady in front of me with long black hair. And she's like, no, she's not going in there. I did all this fighting so it didn't have to happen to her. And I'm like, who is this woman? And then she turns around and it's Aaliyah. That's one dream that I had. This is when I was deep in, right? Second dream that I had, I was at the homeboy house, sleeping on the couch. Went into the bathroom. I look in the mirror and my face is Eazy-E. And he says, "This is not what you think it is. Move with caution." That was the second dream. Third dream, I'm in this studio. I'm sitting on like a bench, and in front of me is somebody sitting in this swivel chair. And the lights are really dim and dark, and it's kind of a glow. And the person spins around and says, "Things are about to change," and it's Prince. Listening to Reincarnated, it was just like, with life in conception, God births humans every day to correct the issue over and over and over. And when it comes to this music industry, people are given a platform, and when they get to a certain level,
Make a choice.
You got to make a choice. And most people decide to go through door A. And I'm going to say door A because door A is flashy as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for him to say, all y'all motherfuckers done this wrong, beyond what's happening now. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I done fucked up too. But I'm at the gate right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we about to turn this shit around. Like, it was just, it's just so powerful to listen to.
That's very interesting, and I think it's very important that Kendrick, the way he pays homage to people who have come before him,
Yes.
and like taking heed to, like, sometimes you don't have to learn the lessons the hard way. You know what I mean? We can learn from other people. Like you said, we correcting. So we have to be a certain level of awareness and enlightenment to tap into that. To like dissect those dreams and take a moment to like, what does that mean and how am I gonna move going forward? Because those are all messages. You know, we're just
Right.
we're just energy. We're just conduits of energy. So yeah, and I mean, anyone, like you said, can listen to this music and not understand it,
Right.
and not see the meaning behind it. But then there's gonna be people like us, like my children, like your children, that are like, oh no, wait, that has a deeper meaning. Like, hold on,
Facts.
let me stop and dissect this really quick. So
Because with every great artist, why is there some sort of addiction attached to it?
that's that bite. That's
It was given.
That attachment. So
It was given.
And I think to what you said, again, I haven't heard Not in the Garden, but you said that what you told me just from the snippet was something that people, like high vibrational people who fill the room, they tend to have to humble themselves a lot to accommodate other people. And that's basically like his message to like stop doing that. You know, in the Bible it says if you're given a talent and you bury it, God's gonna take it from you. So whatever it is that God gave you to put on your heart to do for the people, do it.
yeah. Shit,
Yeah.
y'all.
Unapologetic.
I know people right now. Thank you, C. Thank you, Melissa. I know people are trying to tear the album up or give their critiques on just the music, and it's a forewarning.
Yeah.
This is very biblical, and even
It is.
it's a forewarning, and it can go one or two ways. And he said that in the battle. He keeps saying it. We can go whichever way we gotta go, but I know where we finna go. So just be mindful. Just be mindful, and it's okay. And the connection to your past is the only way we move forward.
Facts.
It's a very African tradition to, you have to go back to know where you headed and to connect with that. And I think we're about to get a deeper dive into that connection, not just on both the surface level
Yeah.
and the mental and spiritual level, and on a cultural level of going back.
It all
And it's-
coincides together. It's so important that we have our identity, that we know who we are, that we know where we come from, that we know where we're going. And not to bring like religion all the way to it, but I have this little thing that I have in my phone. It says, those who live righteous, blessed are the children of those who live righteous lives. And I keep that there as a reminder, like, in anything that you do, whether it's music, whether it's law, whether it's teaching, whether it's just raising your children, it's so easy to just be human.
Yeah.
In so many moments, but if you remember, like, okay, I am influencing a person who's going to influence generations to come. We're building legacies, and it's not just about money and material things. It's about that spiritual thing that you're giving to somebody else. I'm able to reference memories of my grandmother and my mother and all of those things that helped me be the mother that I am. So yeah, tap into that spiritual level. It's, again, there's church, there's God, but it's all within.
Yeah.
Within, it's all there. You have it all already in you to be who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Were you gonna bring up the cease and desist letter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before you got 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Go
Well, I
ahead.
know it ain't really much for us to say because
You
but
a bitch.
how y'all feel about okay, just to reiterate what happened. Drake sent Kendrick and the UMG team, Universal Music Group, a cease and desist from one of his not well-known LLCs, basically stating that they paid bots and did payola with paying the radio stations to hype up Not Like Us. Yeah, basically Kendrick's not who he is. This was all a play.
Yeah. Let me tell people why this is odd. Because Drake is on UMG.
Yeah.
And so and here's the crazy part. Now it's solidified too that Drake has to have some stake or ownership in UMG. Because if he did not, then this would also open floodgates for just artists to make these type of claims and sue a company, which can't be, right? You have all these artists, and if you said, "Oh, I can sue as an artist to do this," no.
Right.
What is this? That means you have a stake in the company. You're saying pieces of the company are not acting ethically and doing something to conspire against you and your stake in the company.
What did I say the first time I recorded? When I said it's two groups that run the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Bloods and it's the Jews.
Anyways, I think it's interesting to do a cease and desist because, as we know, like United States law is like English common law, built on precedent. So if you're gonna start doing something, you're setting a tradition or something that can happen again and again and again, and then you're taking away the culture of hip hop because the culture of hip hop is diss tracks. It is like unfortunately Ja Rule doesn't have a career anymore because things of that nature, and that's just. People can't be untouchable. You can't be untouchable. So if you're gonna go to your legal team and you're saying I can't hang anymore, just tap out.
I'm just sick of this crybaby ass behavior.
Yeah, even if it's true, you can't do it. I guess you can, but you can't. He doesn't. I don't know who's advising him, and to even go onto that white streamers channel shows you as a nigga's making cultural moves and saying you're not of the culture and you still go over there with the other half of you keep proving him right, and people are seeing like, bro, this is a professional crash out, and it's getting worse because he didn't know who he has conflict with, who he is.
Period.
Okay.
And fabricated a whole fucking story about his fucking upbringing and his dad not being in his life just to fit in and have a storyline.
And we're seeing the manifestation of somebody who does not know. So what they're really doing is going back to what they know. And it's counter what the person, it's directly related to what the person said who you are.
Right.
And it's messing you, and it's messing everybody up. I'm like, bro, you could have just left it in your ego and pride. This is, again, this is why Kendrick is saying it's such a spiritual battle. He knows better and can't help it because it's the spirit pushing him, and it's just in his nasty work. And somebody needs to save him. And I'm telling you, whoever out there in Drake's corner, you need to save him. Stop. I'm telling y'all on a very real level. I don't know what else to tell y'all. You need to save him. He's going out.
And that was a really interesting conversation they were having because they were asking her like, where do you stand on this Kendrick and Drake beef, and like, have you reached out to Drake? And she just said like, no, he has really, really solid people in his circle. I don't need to reach out. And I think that's what's wrong with the world. It's like people don't cross over those bridges, don't like reach out. Like, I'm sharing something with you and you're like, it's fine, I'll get to the bottom of it because like, we are still part of a community. And I just feel like people should.
Well, that's coded language, baby girl.
Right, because it's
that was coded language for her.
Gatekeeping. Basically
saying we can't touch him. He ain't listening. Those people, no, he good over there. He got solid people. That's a diplomatic way of saying he ain't fucking with nobody. And those folks over there is doing their own thing, or we don't want to fuck with him. That's a very diplomatic way.
Like she was like walking on eggshells. Like she kept saying, "Don't ask me, don't ask me." They're like, "Oh, how do you feel when they like dancing to Not Like Us in the club?" And she's like, "Yeah, every diss track for every generation is a club banger." Like it sounded like somebody wrote responses.
She has a publicist.
These questions are being posed to her, and it didn't feel genuine. So.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful part about Kendrick. Like he doesn't have to be pigeonholed right now. You know what I mean? Like can't nobody keep him. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't need
Period. Drake is the gatekeeper for a lot of motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, ain't a gate opener.
No.
If you're gonna be the porter, sometimes you got to open it up. He ain't opening it up,
Right.
like Kendrick just did. I actually need to go back now and watch the very first original PG Lang commercial. The first one. PG Lang is the company that him and Dave Free started. Dave Free was his manager under TDE, good friend. That's who he said as his real baby daddy. He didn't care. He was dancing. They was in the video, and everything you saw said Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free after that accusation. So it don't even matter. I wouldn't care if it's true. It'd be even harder if it's true.
Right.
Oh, they still cool. You can't break them. Sorry for you. But they started a company called PG Lang, and that's where all of this is under is PG Lang. So Kendrick's no longer on TDE. And that's why when he got to the Part 6, he was talking about that need for independence.
Right.
So they started this company because Dave Free was under TDE as his manager and creative director. Dave Free is the eye behind the creative in tandem with Kendrick on all shit that was going on. So
Kendrick is at the level that he's at because, like, look at J. Cole, look at Dreamville. They were doing so good, but they were still, like, under Jay-Z, and they, like, hit basically a glass ceiling. You know what I mean? You can't be bigger than
the boss.
Yeah, you see Ari Lennox crying right now.
Yeah. So like I have to go back and watch the very first one. Because it was so packed with shit in it, with visuals, and just to watch it. And I was breaking it down there like, this is crazy. And it was so jam packed. And to listen and going back and listen to track, now you got to listen to his tracks with Baby Keem again and pay attention again. It's like, okay, he already, and I told you, he been telling, that's why I got the feeling. I'm like, I know it's shit coming. But it's just being that meticulous. Maybe that's the word you're looking for, meticulous. And,
I like that.
And intentional to where this feels like what they say when people like, I saw the aliens and they showed me everything, or the pyramid. Like, I know how the pyramids is built and I can tell you this, and whoop-de-whoop, this feels like he had that. And he's laying out what's already been laid. He's just laying it out.
Yeah.
And he's literally, but it's already written. What it's coming as I literally know what's about to happen.
Right. You know, I don't know. Right. I don't know what the fuck Kendrick is doing on his day to day. Right. But listening to that album, like, really, it like you said, it was something so spiritual about it, like, that penetrated me that I could not pinpoint. But it made me want to go into isolation. I don't know if Kendrick went into isolation to do this.
Kendrick went into isolation years ago when he went on a drought, and he penned a letter before the last album, before Mr. Morale. He went into isolation. He said, I was riding my bike, and he penned a letter. I might have it still. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. He penned a letter, and I think he came out of it, you know, from meditation and getting clear, and it was clear, and it's been clear, and that happened. Mr. Morale came out, what, 22?
Yeah.
Technically, that letter came out either I think in 2021, and it was like everybody knew something was finna start, but he's been on this coming out of COVID, and he's mentioned that in Mr. Morale, like, trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already told you I told you, well, I didn't tell you what I'm doing, but I told you I'm disappearing on my birthday.
You did say that.
It's already written. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm going in nature. I might send some pictures, some cryptic ass pictures, and not tell nobody where I'm at. I ain't sending no flight information. I just drop me off this time and then pick me up this time and go on to do what I gotta do. So.
My house it's in the city, but I have no neighbors on my road. I have trees, I have peace, and the most beautiful sunsets. And it's like God knew what I needed for my healing and just blessed me with it. So I have went into isolation, all of that. And when you do move and you do, like, just sit with self and tap in and just keep doing what God tells you to do, like, those blessings will come.
Nah, for real. And I'm
You can't question it too. I could have been looked at this house, but this is too much house for me. But no, it felt right, and I just went with it.
yeah.
And I kept doing it, and you know, we're here. I had the birthday party this weekend for my son, and everybody who came was like supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibes are right and everything. So I love the idea of isolation, and it's not just isolating yourself, but it's like being okay with being by yourself. Like you can isolate yourself and be in a room full of people, or
Facts.
sitting with self and be like, I'm okay with just being in my thoughts and in my head,
Right.
and not looking for that validation from those outside people.
For real. And I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like we like going deep, but this is what Kendrick does. You know what I mean? Like it's what Kendrick does, but like to the point, like Kendrick's gift, like, you know, when you do sit in isolation and you listen to God and you allow him to literally steer your wheel, you know what I mean? Things are laid out as they should be. And when I speak to my isolation period, you know, you pray to God for like discipline. And for me, I have many gifts, but to be able to birth the child and look at that gift physically, yes, you have many other gifts that you could have protected, but you know, you have a tangible gift and you ain't gonna let nothing touch that. So Kendrick, God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
You gave us what we needed.
For real.
You've been giving it to us. They tried to trash Mr. Morale and Big Steppers because that whole project was a mirror. Literally, the project even mirrored itself, side A to side B, even from where the interludes were at. They were a mirror. That's why it felt. That's why I felt so different on each side of it. It felt different.
Yeah.
To now come to this to find yourself. Part of it is just to look inside yourself and look around. If you are of something, you can do it. Finding yourself is just looking at your grandma and your pawpaw, looking at your parents, looking at your neighborhood. That is you. That's you. That's part of you.
Like I have my kids younger, 20, 21 when I have my sons, and then 30 when I have my daughter. But having my daughter changed my whole perspective. But it made me look at my sons, because when you're doing that, you're like, I basically grew up with my kids. You know what I mean? I had to go through a lot with them. They've seen a lot, all that. But then like my kids have been cooking lately. You know what I mean? They've been making really good food, and I'm like, wait, y'all didn't just wake up one day and know how to cook.
Right.
Watching me for 11 years in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Or my kids asking really introspective questions. Or my middle son, he's very charismatic. He'll go up. I seen him when they were leaving basketball, and he stopped and he shook the janitor's hand, and he spoke to him, and he was talking to him for a little while. And I talked to the janitor all the time, but he never saw me interact with him, and the janitor didn't know that was my child. And then I was like, that was a cool interaction. He's like, that's your kid? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all these 3 kids is mine. He was like, that is crazy. Your son speaks to me every time he walks in his building and leave. He acknowledges me. That's because, you know what I mean? He mirrors what we're showing them. So
Right.
to your point is, our kids are real life like entities of God, the God that we have in us, and give to them and all of our lineage. There's a lot of DNA trauma within that, all of those things. But the more we heal the inner child in ourselves, we're healing our children.
100%. God damn.
That's why he was wearing the crown, the diamond-studded crown.
Oh yeah.
Who was the real sacrifice out of heaven? Think about it. That's why he's reincarnated. Who was the real sacrifice?
Lucifer?
Don't forget the story of Lucifer.
Right.
He kind of got kicked out because he was jealous. Now, don't.
Right.
He was jealous of him. Don't.
It's a big thing.
Nah.
There's this portrait at the Jocelyn. I don't know if it's still there, but it's a fire
Really?
Lucifer picture that, like, when I think of Lucifer, I think of that portrait at the Jocelyn. So if I ever go there,
I'm gonna have to go. Let me know.
yeah, I'm gonna take some pictures and send it to you, or we can go together.
Right.
But yeah, I think there is like a idea that we can't even learn about Lucifer, that we're not supposed to study who he was in the Bible and who he was to the heavens, almost because they don't want us to know. So I'm curious to dive into that for myself and learn more. I don't think anything, like, we shouldn't fear knowledge and understanding.
Right.
But it's not too scary. It almost makes you feel like, what is the reason that they don't want us to? Maybe to have a greater understanding.
Yeah.
It's all good. Not sorry, you guys. We went there. Thank you again, Dot. I'll see you later this year.
Yeah.
And then 2 more times next year, according to my calendar. I'll see you soon. I guess 3 more times. We got the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Boy, I hope he get. I already know I know who he gonna get on that stage, and nobody's gonna even know who he is. But it's okay. I know from a culture standpoint, an act that's gonna be there. Yeah.
What's your favorite Super Bowl performance ever?
I personally don't have one.
Okay.
Janet Jackson's titty.
That's like, of course you would say that. So
I don't know.
I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm.
Prince did his.
Yeah, I don't remember too many, except for the one with Dr. Dre. That was nice to see, but I did not like Usher. I know that.
It was cool. Well, I guess Rihanna had the worst one because she was pregnant, so she wasn't moving.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
She had some nice staging. She crazy for going up there that high.
Yes,
while
she is for real though.
It wasn't bad. Nothing was bad. But it's all good, man. Can't wait for this random Super Bowl we about to have. I have no clue who's gonna make it, but it's all good, man.
Yes.
Thank y'all for kicking it with us, man. I hope we gave y'all some nuggets, some shit to study, to think about. Sorry we just didn't go every song and talk about it. It wasn't important. The general concept was more important. And I hope nobody else gave you the deep dive that I gave you on Reincarnated. Cause that shit deep. But I can't wait for what's next. Cause I know what's next. Boy, make me right. Dot. Make me, nigga Damas needs some life. Make me correct. Please. Please. You feel me? Tell Dave to holla at your boy.
Listen.
Stop playing.
Listen.
If I see and say, see, I'm going to LA, don't ask me no questions. I can't even say nothing. Just say,
All right.
Eric, don't go to LA. If I say, see, I'm going to LA.
Okay.
Or if I say, see, I need you somewhere here ASAP.
I'm there.
Because Kendrick's been here before. Don't get it twisted. He's recorded in the city.
I'm there.
So I'm like, hey. Ma'am,
Yes.
we gotta clear it. We're gonna have to clear it first. But we listen. So just don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at anything. Don't be surprised at anything, man.
Damn.
We appreciate. Yes. We appreciate y'all. I just saw a clip about manifesting on the actual neuroscience level.
Really? I'm about to go home and watch YouTube.
Yeah. But man, this has been the Streets A&R Podcast. You can find us on everything. We're at Streets A&R. We're on everything but Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, repost, tell a friend, listen, watch.
All that.
All that, man. And y'all stay tuned. The boy is cooking. He hands off the wheel. Shout out to him and Schoolboy Q for the old hands on the wheel song. Anyways, I'm just gonna call back everything. But I can't wait to see what's next, man. Thank you again, Dot, and thank y'all for joining us, our spiritual nerd out on Kendrick Lamar's GNX. He had my ass looking for cars in 1987. I cannot afford the GNX. It's only so many made, and they still at minimum they 130. But I was like, what other cars in 19? Like, I always thought about that. Like, and I found one. I'm like, oh, I could get this for like $12,000.
Well, let me know when you get it, because I want to get my hydraulics. I always said I want an old school, and I want to fix it up and candy apple red with some like gold rims and some shit.
Yeah, I found a little 2-seater car. I found a little 2-seater. I might get it. I always wanted a little sports car, and so I found one. I'm like, I'm gonna have to see if I can get this bad boy.
Yeah,
I need some money, man. Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all like this video. Get us up to 38 million views.
Hey.
And we gonna get these cars. That's the first thing we gonna buy. We buy a car. Man, we appreciate y'all, man. We gonna get up out of here. Thank you, Missy.
Yes.
Thank you, Missy Mindset, for joining us. It's your host, Giddy Jicky with it.
It's your girl, CLB.
We out.
Peace.
The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.